today we got the Rocket Fire torch. We're going to be starting up the SnS Kettle, and we're going to be making a smoked chuck roast. We're going to turn into some beef tacos, so stay tuned. Let's see how this Rocket Fire torch does. Going to go ahead and open up the gas valve all the way and squeeze the trigger. Look at that. All right, so I got a chuck roast here. I seasoned this up last night. Maybe I'll throw a clip in there right now of that. Go ahead and get this chuck roast out of the vacuum bag. Nice looking piece of chuck. It's been in the freezer for a while, but it's going to be plenty delicious. I'm not even going to bother drying this off. We're going to go ahead and season it up with the Fire and Smoke Windy City Classic Barbecue Rub. Going to go ahead and be generous with this. Pat it in so it looks a little something like that. We're going to flip it over, do both sides. Then this is going to sit in the refrigerator overnight, and then tomorrow we'll go ahead and get this on the grill. Look at that. How good does that look? I'm not too worried about the parts I missed on the edge. There's going to be plenty of flavor in this. This is not competition barbecue. We're not worried about every bite being absolutely perfect. Plus, by the time we get done, these flavors are going to even out throughout the whole piece of meat. We got something special in store for this. We will go ahead and take it and just dab it on the cutting board to pick up any of the loose pieces of rub that are sitting there going to waste. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get a wireless thermometer in here. I'm using the Inkbird today. This has become my favorite wireless thermometer for a couple reasons. Mostly because of the rechargeable case, you don't need to use batteries. And also the connectivity on this is superior. Even if you do lose connectivity, it reconnects with ease. So let's go ahead and get this inserted. The one thing I will warn you about this Inkbird thermometer is it's got a really large diameter, so you're not going to use this in a thin piece of meat. But I don't normally bother with any thin meats with a leave-in thermometer. So let's go ahead and get this inserted. You want to make sure you push it all the way in until you get to the safety line, which is on there. I just shove them all the way in. But if you're cooking a small cut of meat, that's going to be important to pay attention to. So this is in. We're going to shoot for an internal temperature of around 160 degrees while we smoke it on the kettle. And then we're going to sous vide it to finish it off. This is going to be a new cook for me, so we're just winging it and we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Of course, we're burning Jealous Devil Max Briquettes today. These are 2.5 times the size of ordinary briquettes, and they don't have that awful chemical odor like the other blue bag does. So let's see what this torch does. We'll just let this run in here for about a minute, and then we'll let this burn here for about a minute, and we'll see what we got. Okay, looks like we got some coals going. Gonna go ahead and open the bottom vent now. Work that clean out, get all the ash out. Okay, that's open. Let this sit here for about 10 minutes, and once they start to burn a little bit better, we'll shut the lid and start heating up the kettle. It's been less than 10 minutes. Now you can see we're starting to get some pretty good coal development there in the middle. We're going to throw a couple of these from the edges on top of that. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and shut the lid on the SnS Kettle. Open the vent all the way. Turn it for indirect cooking. Give this about another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll go ahead and get the meat on. Okay, this kettle's about up temperature now. It's at 200 degrees. Planning around to cook around 250, 275, but whatever it wants to run at, we're going to go with. So let's open it up. We got one of these nice Hickory Smoke Blocks from Jealous Devil. These are really nice. They're actually, I think they're cut off of lumber, but it means you have no bark, no waste. They're really nice, and they're really affordable too. So I highly recommend these Jealous Devil Smoke Blocks. You know, and get that in right over the coals. The Slow N Sear, you've got an option of putting in a water pan. I'm not going to be using it today. If I was going to smoke this the entire time on the kettle, I would. But like I said, we're going to give this a quick smoke, try to build a nice bark on here, and then we're going to sous vide. So I want to accelerate that bark development. So that's why we're not using the water pan. So here we are. We got this. Going to go ahead and get this on the kettle. Shut the lid. We're going to adjust the top and bottom vent both to halfway and just keep an eye on it. When you're cooking with charcoal, don't stress over temperatures. Wherever it wants to run, you just make do with that. Very important tip if you're new to cooking on charcoal. So we'll check back here probably in a couple hours. This is going to be a really simple cook, but a couple hours from now, we'll check it, we'll rotate it, flip it around, see how the bark's coming. And we're just going to get some stuff done around the house today. The Inkbird wireless thermometer will help me keep an eye on it from my phone. Okay, this meat's been on for a couple hours, sitting at 170. We ended up running closer to 300 degrees or so, a little bit higher than I was anticipating, but like I said with charcoal, we just roll with it. So let's see what we got for an internal temperature. Not sure well you can see that, but just double checking my Inkbird. Yep, we're sitting there around 160 degrees. So we're on the same page. We're going to get this off and into a vacuum bag. All right, going to go ahead and get this off the grill now. I got a vacuum bag. Go ahead and put this right in there. Going to leave the meat probe in. We can keep an eye on it as it sous vides this way. Try not to get too much meat juices where it's got a seal. Didn't do a perfect job on that, but just pointing that out. Now here's going to be the secret to this. We're going to sous vide it with bacon up in the bag. One nice scoop. I think we're going to go for another scoop. Just check out my secret stash down here. Always got extra bacon up ready to go. This is just filtered shelf-stable bacon grease. Much better than any of those seed oils. If you don't have any bacon grease, I'd use butter, but avoid any of the vegetable oils. All right, now we got 2 nice scoops in there. We're going to get this in the Wevac chamber vac. Go ahead and hit the on switch. Open it up. There's 2 little tabs here. Just slide the bag underneath there. And then we're going to go hit this on button. Now we're going to go for this smart vac, auto settings, large bag, shut the lid. This will take about 40 seconds or so to seal. I'm going to bring you in close. Okay, not sure if you're going to be able to see it or not, but when it releases the vacuum, the bag will shrink around the meat. There it is, all sealed. I'm going to go ahead and put a second seal on this because, like I said, I got a little bit too much meat juice on the seal. So we're going to see if we can put a second seal on this. This is all sealed. We're going to head to sous vide. Okay, just going to get this in the sous vide. We'll check back when it's time to eat. We gave this about 4 hours at 200, and then we turned it down to 160 and pulled it out to rest for about 15 minutes before cutting into it. Look at all that amazing juice. You know we're not going to waste that. We'll just mix that back in with the meat after we pull it. Look at how good that bark held up too. This is going to be amazing. Just grab onto it with your glove and start shredding. You can see how tender it is. It's just falling apart. Look at that. Nice bark, nice smoke ring, plenty juicy. This is going to make for some amazing tacos. So time to build the taco. I'm going in with a low carb tortilla, which I wouldn't even normally go for, but you use whatever you want. Pile that meat up nice and high. Don't be stingy on the meat. All right, we're going to top this off now with some pickled jalapenos, one of my favorite vegetables, and that's enough vegetables for this meal. A nice little dab of Chicholula hot sauce. Kick it up just a little bit, not too much. And then, of course, we're going to go in with some sour cream because everything's better with sour cream. I'm going to go ahead and take a bite here, and I think we already know this is going to be delicious. Look at that. If your taco doesn't have this much meat, you're doing something wrong. Unfortunately, I didn't get the taste test on camera. This was a busy Sunday night with the family, but let me tell you, it was delicious. Thanks for watching. Make sure you head on over to Instagram as well. Give me a follow at Rusty Barbecue Lamb. Subscribe, turn notifications, thumbs up. Thanks again. See you on the next video. This was a busy Saturday.